Hi, this is Chris Birch from Modifius. You are listening to Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG talk.
This week, Morrus, PJ, and Jessica bring you up to date with all the tabletop RPG news, including Dimension 20 at Madison Square Garden, Planet of the Apes and Black Company both getting new RPGs, edible gummy miniatures, and more, plus a brand new sketch about the differences between modern editions and the original game. This week on Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG talk.
Welcome back, I suppose. I am delighted to announce that today's podcast is sponsored by the local town criers service, Town Square Space. I mean, I say that I'm delighted, but as you can imagine, I'm being less than completely sincere. Town Square Space provides an all-in-one platform that gives you everything you need to announce your announcements or proclaim your proclamations. Who writes this stuff? Town Square Space's professional town criers are at least 30% louder than any other town criers. Whether you're just getting started or are an established brand, our powerful platform helps your business grow. I remember when it was perfectly acceptable to announce your next genocidal plan by posting it on the local notice board, but apparently no one looks at notice boards anymore, so you have to pay a man to bellow in people's faces. You people sicken me.
All the tabletop role-playing news, we aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG
Hello, and welcome to Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. I am Russ, aka Morrus, or Morrus, aka Russ. And with me this week is...
PJ Coffey from the Southampton Guild of Role Players. Russ, as ever, I am delighted to be here. And joining us also, we have the amazingly talented and fantastic cornerstone upon which so much of Ian Publishing's empire rests. It's the one. It's the only.
It's me, Jessica from EM Publishing. Thank you very much, PJ, for the weekly
cornerstone. And I think we should now change your business title to Cornerstone.
I've heard worse.
Yeah, sure. Does it come with a pay rise or?
Oh, that's the spirit.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see in
you know what?
in the young people of today.
We're living in late-stage capitalism. Gotta hustle.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, speaking of hustle, there's actually some news this week. So
there is.
TTRPG Space has been hustling and doing things. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it then. Let's do it. And,
what do you got?
Right, I'm going to start off with, remember we talked about Jim Ward passing recently?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
One of his earliest creations was a science fiction RPG called Metamorphosis Alpha.
Ooh.
Yes.
And this is one of the first ever sci-fi role-playing games.
Ooh.
1976 it came out. It's had a few editions since. Last one was in 2006 or something, I think. So about 20 years ago. And this game is it's set on a generation ship called the Starship Warden.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much science fantasy, and you can play humans, mutants, mutant plants, mutant creatures, and later they added robots and stuff as well.
I like playing a robot.
You like playing a robot?
I do.
Just kind of doesn't require much role playing.
Yeah, let's not to look into why.
Anyway, so Jim Ward passed a couple of weeks ago, and Parabellum Consulting has acquired the rights to Jim Ward's Metamorphosis Alpha, also to some of his other creations, from the Ward family, and will be basically looking forward to preserving his legacy via Kickstarter, possibly a new edition of, doesn't say specifically, new edition of Metamorphosis Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
I think this looks interesting.
It does look interesting. I was about to say, have you played it? Because I've heard of it, definitely, because it's one of those ones, but it's not something I've sat down to play.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was the first sci-fi role-playing game, but it's definitely very, very early there. Certainly 2 years after D&D was released.
Yeah.
So I think does it predate Traveller? I can't remember when Traveller came out. I've no
to
idea.
the internet.
But anyway, to the internet. If only there was some way to find out. Okay, I'm going to Google it and then.
But Traveller feels like a different brand of sci-fi than this anyway. Like feels like it's differently flavoured.
Much bigger in scope. Like a generation. I mean, it's an excellent setting, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like setting it on board a generation ship. But yeah, Traveller is all about space empires.
Yeah.
1977 as well, so it's after this. So it does predate Traveller.
Yeah.
So that is a thing that is happening. I think we're looking forward to a Kickstarter later this year, I guess.
Oh, this year, really? Wow.
I don't know for sure. I kind of there is a press release. It's a little bit vague. It just says Parabellum Consulting is in the planning stages for several Kickstarter projects.
Right.
Oh, well, TBZ then. Maybe that'll be 2025, I'd imagine then. If
Maybe.
If it's in the planning, because you'd want to... It takes a bit of work to get to the point of launching a Kickstarter. As some people on this podcast may be aware.
Some people whip them out quickly.
Who are misses? Sorry. I'm required by law to make that check.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, luckily I was just having a drink of water, which is why I didn't, so luckily someone got there before me.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's that news. Someone else give me some news.
Oh, there's some very exciting news out at the moment. But Jessica, you look like you're about to leap in.
No, you first. I think yours is more exciting.
Well, it's certainly more exciting for me.
Okay.
It turns out that the Laundry role-playing game has a second edition.
No.
Yeah. This is obviously from Cubicle 7, based over in Ireland somewhere. And what it is they're going to be exploring the adventures of Bob Howard and crew in the Cubicle 7 D6 system. So, yeah.
Different system to before then.
Yes, it was using a version of the basic role-playing system.
Which is a T100 system.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu-esque, I would describe it as. And just to give you a very brief potted history, like super brief, Alan Turing says, hey, this mathematics stuff, if you foodle around with it, it turns out you can actually summon great old ones and lesser entities. Isn't that neat? And the British government said, very cool things, skulls, and killed him off. But then it turned out the cat was out of the bag and all the great powers were developing sort of supernatural weaponry and so forth, which led to a need for a branch of the British service to deal with things that go bump in the night. Hence we have like Necronomiphones, like computational demonology, all sorts of goodness, a heady mix of computer geekery, bureaucracy, and good old-fashioned Cthulhu-like investigation.
I'm not so sold on the bureaucracy side of it. I mean,
I love that.
I know Jess loves bureaucracy.
I do.
Bureaucracy, yeah.
No, in the game, it makes an interesting challenge that when you really want to do something, the end of the world's coming, but someone's like, well, I don't really have a budget for it. And you're like, what?
You've got to fill in some forms first.
Yeah.
I mean, you're joking. That is literally part of the fun of the game. I've run this for...
Yes, I know. I played a game of it. It was very much like that, and it was very good fun.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 2
computer scientists and 2 honest-to-goodness Whitehall civil servants.
Yep.
And the 20-minute conversation about whether they could leave a laptop, forget the M16s, could they leave the laptop in the... Actually, it was MP5s, not M16. I do forgive me. Whether you could leave a laptop unsecured in the back of a Land Rover was a marvellous sort of semi-derail.
Sounds like
the
equivalent of Jess's recent "Can we get the hammer out of the river" episode.
No, it's brilliant. Actually, it's entirely in character and beautifully observed. So
yes,
you have to lean into the humour. The Laundry series has been going for a long time. There's a lot of very good books in by Charles Stross. I thoroughly recommend it. Jump into the Atrocity Archives with Cold War style action. In the 2016s, maybe skip the Jennifer Morgue if you're not that keen on James Bond. But I personally ended up starting at the Fulham Memorandum, which is amazing. Even if I wasn't sure who half the characters were, and there's a major spoiler for earlier books, it was still a great book. And then there's a load of extra ones, which, again, I thoroughly recommend.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, then.
I'm intrigued by this. It's interesting. I've had a look at people online, and it kicks up the conversation, because some people were talking about... So there's some PDF tiers that are like €56 and €85, and then you can get 2 of the books for €90.
It is on Kickstarter right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah.
So it opened up... I saw some people having that conversation online again about the price of RPG PDFs. And that was a very divisive conversation I saw online, again, because some people were like, PDF shouldn't be that expensive.
It's a divisive topic. Yeah.
And then you have people saying, but people that make games deserve to get paid, and if you're access, so all these things. So... It's an interesting topic I tend to try and observe as somebody that publishes RPGs, because I want to know what people that buy RPGs think, because that's relevant. But yeah, I don't know, that topic's circulating around again, so I'm going to keep my beady eye on it. I don't have anything more to add or interesting to say beyond what's already been said, but maybe next week, if someone says something interesting, I can share it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very keen on these books and so forth. I think they're great. I am struggling a little bit because the core set is €90 to get like the hardcover and PDFs, and that's a very easy sell for me. But then it's there's €145 to go up to next tier plus shipping, and that is a lot harder because it's got things like apply the Court Computing and Black Bag Jobs reopened. The Black Bag Jobs being a set of adventures by Gareth Hanrahan, amongst others, which are, some bits are definitely like, ooh, you probably wouldn't see that nowadays, but other bits are really fantastic, including Case Witch Bravo, which is about a haunted oil rig, which is fairly unique in my experience.
Yeah.
And which I've actually had a lot of fun using Dread to run that one, because it really lends itself well to like almost system neutrality, as it were. But yeah, so yeah, but the prices for those, it's giving me pause, and I am just struggling a little bit. Got to make ends meet. But this is, I'm very excited about this. I really think that a D6 dice pool could be a really strong case for this.
Yeah, I'm eyeing this up now, and I might scuttle away and have a look at my other purchase plans for this month and see if I can fit this in.
Squeeze it in, yeah. Okay. Jess, can you give me a bit of news?
I can give you a bit of news, indeed, because that's what I do. So, some news that you specifically will like, Russ. So you are a fan, it's well known, of the 1980s Ghostbuster D6 system. That's been an inspiration for a lot of systems you've made, correct?
Yep.
Good.
Correct.
Look at me, I'm like an interviewer, I know my things.
So,
Magnetic Press has announced new license they're doing for Planet of the Apes RPG, and the game is going to use a magnetic variant system, which is inspired, a variation of that system for the Ghostbusters one. So, so I know system-wise that may be something that intrigued you. I don't know if Planet of the Apes is a license that also intrigues you.
I mean, I've watched the movies and didn't dislike them. I wouldn't say I'm a fan per se, but
all right.
But the system certainly sells me. I do like that system.
Yeah, but it looks cool to me. So it looks like you're an intellectualized chimp that's going, doing science and exploration.
That's
and
harsh.
I do like the look of the minis.
No, the characters, right, not Russ. Right with you. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well, if Russ chooses to be that character, he can be. But yeah. So this looks interesting to me as well. So they did a product announcement for it. They haven't announced the date. And we don't know if it's going to be a crowdfunder or a pre-order, but it is happening. It will be a thing. And like you say, there are some cool STL files for minis planned as well. So
yeah, the minis look awesome.
And I think because is there
really
another
cool
film coming out?
Yeah.
So maybe that's tied.
I can't remember what it's called, but
that'll be tied with that.
It's called sort of like Ruins of the World of the
Ruins of Tomorrow,
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or something. I don't know.
And this is why you're not allowed to name films, Russ.
Yeah, look at the name of this podcast.
The sad thing is I am allowed to name things, and that is a problem.
Yes.
That is a big problem.
Well, we don't have time to talk about it here on this podcast. But but that's coming out, and I'm intrigued by that. I do like a D6 dice system, so I might take a look at that. I don't know, again, if the setting is one that fully grabs me.
The picture they give it looks like, is that a box? Is that a box set?
It looks like it will be a box,
like a box
in the
set,
press
doesn't it?
release. Yeah. So it looks like it'll be a box set with minis and the rules and stuff. Because if they're trying to do a movie tie-in, sometimes with RPGs, if you sell them in a box, it makes more sense to people that are like board gamers.
I've just done something sort of like really, really, really revolutionary, and I've read the words. So, so the box is the minis. So that's a box set of minis, and separately there's the core rule book and stuff. That box that I'm looking at is the box of miniatures.
So if you just want a box of minis, you can also get that too.
Yes. If you want a bunch of ape minis,
there's some humans there as well. It looks
and
like.
some human minis.
Yeah,
and a big wormy thing.
It's got legs and what looks to be like a tail as well.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is.
Anyway, that's happening. There's a bit of news for you. Enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoyed that bit of news.
You're welcome.
I might have a bit of news.
Oh, okay.
If you like. I mean, you can go if you don't.
No, I like news.
Oh, yeah. This one is about a series of books from the 1980s, which is, obviously not the longest. It's for fans of Glenn Cook and his writing. It's called The Black Company.
Mm-hmm.
Eve, have you read The Black Company?
I think I read the first book, maybe the second book. I can't remember, and it was a long time ago.
Oh,
I have not.
okay. Yeah. So, bits of it are, again, not great for modern sensibilities. But essentially the idea is, if you've seen things like Band of Blades, that is directly inspired by The Black Company, which is a, very, a little bit of spoilers, I guess, but, first chapter is essentially they are a band of mercenaries. They end up being recruited to go to the north and fight for the Lady, who is a deeply scary sorceress who has clawed her way back out of the grave, along with several of the, quote, 10 who were taken, who are, again, extremely tough and gnarly wizards. I'd just like to say, if you're a wizard in this setting, you're not a D&D wizard. You don't have, 12 hit points and can be taken down by the average house cat. You are extremely, extremely powerful, extremely nasty, and a real piece of work, puts it very mildly. So, they've got names like the Limper, Bone Gnasher, Moon Howler. It goes on, and even the good guys are good for very low values of good, a good comparatively for some of these wizards. So, they are having a squabble because there is an even greater evil that is still interred, and people would quite like to keep it that way.
They're sort of good in the sense that the Marines in Aliens are good. They're you're on their side, but they're not necessarily all nice people.
It's definitely a lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Less likely to lay eggs in you. Yay. I guess I'll vote for that.
I think I kind of heard it described as a mix of gritty military fiction and epic fantasy.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
And the first book, which, by the way, is about, centimetre and a half of paperback, right? Mm-hmm. That has so much plot in it that there are books that, big doorstops of fantasy novels, trilogies, which have less plot, I would say. Largely because Glenn Cook just goes through and the narrator, Croker, is talking to an imagined audience who he assumes to be educated and knowledgeable about the world he lives in. So he doesn't explain things, which I personally love. And fans of Madison and the Books of the Fallen will presumably hate, because I tried to read those books, which people keep recommending to me, and they just over-explain everything. I'm like, I don't care. Please stop expositing at me. Controversial view, entirely my own.
Show not tell, as they say.
I mean, it's not an ironclad rule, but honestly, I'll just get on with it, man. I want to read some cool stuff here.
Do you not like 2 or 3 pages of descriptions of food then? So, many fantasy series have.
It wasn't descriptions of food, it was descriptions of the internal structural organisation of a pseudo-fae house. That's not in Black Company, by the way, I just hasten to add. It's it's dancing at the gates. It's like dancing at the gates of dawn. People nod and move on. And you're like, what? And for me, I enjoy working for my entertainment, so I very much enjoy it. Maybe other people won't. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But these books are getting an RPG, you say?
Well, they're getting a second RPG. The initial one was 2004.
Yeah, Green Ronin did one back in the early 2000s. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was part of the D20 explosion, which I refer to in the same way as I talk about the Cambrian explosion. As in, just we had all these...
I mean, it wasn't quite as long ago, but yeah, okay.
It was 20 years ago, Russ. It's ancient.
Shush you. Just because you were 10
as a group of people that were born in the late 1900s, you would say.
The previous millennium, to be fair.
Yeah. So anyway, this one's coming from Arc Dream Publishing, not Green Ronin.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, and they've got a new game engine. They haven't told us anything about it yet, other than it's built around suspense, terror, and savage heroics.
Yep.
Sounds kind of cool. And it's being written by Delta Green's Shane Ivory and Dennis Detwiller.
But no release date yet.
No release date yet, no. Nothing like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty interested in it. I've been very interested in Band of Blades as well. So if you want the story game version, that is available from, is it Evil Hat? I can't remember. Who does Band of Blades? And Blades in the Dark. Those people.
Blades in the Dark, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Same thing. So if you like that sort of thing, then grab it. I mean, I'm almost tempted to, but I just have too much stuff, too many games. So too little time. But it's definitely a game I would play.
Right.
So yeah.
All right.
Here we are, our annual pilgrimage to Alcon.
This has to be my favourite time of the year.
The world's primary event for players of Barrels and Barrels. Just think of all the games we'll play.
Oh, I hear they're running the first ever Barrows and Barrels adventure, recently unearthed from the creator's attic.
Oh yeah, the Grim Vault of Grixenor. Oh, I've never seen it before. I can't wait.
I hear that nobody has ever survived the dungeon.
Yeah, and that the game's greatest treasure lies at the bottom.
Yeah, guarded by the Archlich Grixenor the Unliving.
Wow, the guys down at the game store would be so envious if we managed to get hold of this treasure.
We'd be heroes.
Yeah, I wonder what the treasure is. A magical sword, perhaps, or some kind of gem?
Oh, it doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that we're going to get it.
So I reckon this dungeon will be like proper old school.
Oh, well, it was written for Barrows and Barrels first edition.
Back when a wizard had just one spell.
Just one spell? Surely you're exaggerating.
Oh, no. If you play a wizard or a spell flinger, as they were called back then, you got to choose one spell, and that's all you could cast.
Yikes. Well, best choose it wisely then. I mean, a spell that is useful time and time again.
Oh, no, you only get to cast it once.
Okay, well, I suppose casting a spell once a day isn't too bad.
Oh, no. You choose one spell, which you can cast once, ever.
What? So one spell, once, ever?
I told you it was old school.
Okay, well, I won't be playing a wizard.
A spell flinger.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to go for a rogue.
Oh, those were called sneaks back in the day.
Oh, yeah, you have 3 abilities, and they all start at 5%.
So, 3 abilities.
Yeah. If I remember my old B&B lore, it was climb castles, sneak at night, and nick stuff.
That's oddly specific. I mean, what if I want to, climb something other than a castle?
I don't know.
Okay. What if I want to sneak at lunchtime?
Why would you want to sneak at lunchtime?
Well, evil doesn't care what time it is, my friends.
I'm sure even evil eats lunch.
Oh, yes. It was all about the verisimilitude back then.
Yeah, but I can nick stuff, even if it's lunchtime.
Well, yes, I suppose, as long as you don't sneak.
With a 5% chance.
It does go up 1% each level.
So I have to be at 50th level before I can even have a chance of climbing a castle wall?
Yes.
Okay, so not playing the wizard.
Spellflinger.
Yes, spellflinger. And no sneak then, so I guess that leaves... Oh, the bold warrior.
Ah,
yes.
So, no cute little name for this one. It's not called the sword swinger or the battle bot or, something like that.
No. It was a rather dull name, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, get this. They used to call the warrior...
the fighter.
The fighter? Yeah, well, I suppose it makes sense. I mean, it's a little, bland.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, never mind. The fighter it shall be. There's no special rule saying I can only swing my sword clockwise or only fight it on a Tuesday or something like that, is there?
No, of course not.
Well, there is one thing.
Go on.
I mean, it's only a little thing.
After can cast only one spell per day and cannot sneak at lunchtime, I'm really not feeling optimistic.
Oh no, it's nothing like that.
Yeah. You get a choice of shields.
Oh, well, that sounds more like it. You mean I can choose between an assortment of different shield types, so each grant me different benefits?
Not quite.
It's more that you can have a shield.
Or not have a shield.
And that's it. So just have a shield or not.
That was a choice, at least.
Okay, well, what advantage does a shield give me?
+1 AC, I think.
Right, and what advantage does not having a shield give me?
No advantage, really.
Okay, so it's not really a choice then, is it?
Well, I suppose it's more sartorial.
Sartorial. Shields are an essential tool of war, not a fashion statement.
Well, them's the rules.
Okay, fine. I'll play a fighter with a shield.
Also, you have to wear a hat.
A hat.
Yes. In B&B First Edition, fighters have to wear a hat.
Oh, you mean like a helm, for protection?
No, an actual hat.
Okay, I don't understand.
Oh, it's right there in the rules. Fighter, prerequisites, a hat.
Are you being serious right now?
It scored very highly in the playtest, apparently.
A hat did. So a hat scored very highly in the playtests.
Oh, yes. Off the charts completely. People loved the hat.
It's fine. Okay, it's a bit weird, but I can live with a hat. Okay, so my fighter wears a hat.
Oh, no, not your fighter.
You have to wear the hat.
No, I have to wear the hat.
Not just any hat. It's a very specific hat.
Are you sure you don't mean the wizard?
Spellflinger?
Yeah, whatever. So wizards and pointy hats go together like, fish and coconuts.
What?
What?
Never mind. Like, you're sure it's not the wizard?
Spellflinger.
So whatever. It's not them who wears the hat.
Nope, definitely the fighter.
Okay, right, fine. So I'll wear the stupid hat. I guess it's a small price to pay to explore the grill vault of Gregaxnor.
Oh, there is one more class.
Oh, pray tell, is it a mysterious ranger who can eat 1 acorn a day? Or a druid who, talks to fish?
Oh, no. None of those.
No, it's the elf.
So the elf, like, as a class?
Yeah, back in B&B First Edition, the classes were fighter, sneak, spellflinger, and elf.
Okay, but elf isn't a class.
It was back then.
Okay, fine. What does an elf get?
Let's see. Magic spells, superior senses, expertise in bows and swords, the ability to talk to animals, faster movement, increased climbing and stealth, and no requirement to sleep.
And don't forget the magic resistance and immunity to charm effects.
Oh, plus they're supernaturally beautiful and they live forever.
Oh, wait. So basically the elf is better than the fighter at fighting. Better than the wizard.
A spellflinger.
Whatever. At magic. And better than the rogue.
Sneak.
At sneaking.
Yes, that's about the size of it.
And you don't have to wear a hat.
Nope, no hat. But it does come with one drawback.
Of course it does.
But it is Barrows and Barrels First Edition, after all.
Okay, fine. So out with it. What is the drawback?
Poor time management.
What?
Oh, yeah, it's like, because they live so long, elves just lose any sense of time.
Yes, so they're always late for everything and automatically fail to meet deadlines.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So if I play an elf, I get magic spells, superior senses, expertise in bows and swords, the ability to speak to animals, faster movement, increased climbing speed and stealth, no requirements to sleep, magic resistance, immunity to charm effects, plus I'm supernaturally beautiful and live forever.
Correct.
And in exchange for that, I have...
Poor time management. Yes.
Okay, and so the other options are a wizard.
Spellflinger.
Who can only cast one spell, like ever. And then I've got a rogue.
Sneak.
Yeah. Who can only hide at lunchtime.
No. Who can't hide at lunchtime.
Okay, or a fighter who may or may not have a shield.
Yes, that's about the size of it.
Yeah, well, then why would I play anything other than an elf?
Oh, you can't play an elf.
What?
Oh, yes. Of course you can't play an elf.
So why can't I play an elf?
It's an aspirational class.
An aspirational class.
Yeah, you have to qualify.
Sorry, I have to qualify?
Yeah, you have to play the other 3 classes up to level 40 first.
And put in 1,000 officially sanctioned play hours.
Verified by 2 or more certified Barrowmasters.
And be a paying member of the official Barrows and Bear Owls Gamers Association.
And they're B&BGA.
Okay, you're joking, right?
No, but you do get an official badge you can wear at conventions.
Okay, so the more and more I hear about B&B First Edition, the less I like it.
It's pretty hardcore.
You know that if your character dies, you get thrown out of the B&BGA, right?
Okay, is this a game or a cult?
Oh, they don't refer to the creator as the Overlord for nothing.
Okay, so to play an elf, I basically have to join a cult.
Oh, yes. We both did.
I'm a level 14 Barrowmaster.
And how many people are in this cult?
They estimate the worldwide player base of B&B First Edition to be about 7.
7.
Including us.
It's a very exclusive cult.
Ugh. You know what? Just pass me the fighter hat.
Malak the Maleficent here. If, like me, you're enjoying this podcast, please consider subscribing on Patreon for exclusive bonus content every week and the warm, fuzzy feeling of knowing you are helping to keep the show going. Subscribe at patreon.com/Morrus. There, I said it. Can you stop staring at me like that now? The things I do. All right. Don't forget, patreon.com/Morrus. Can I go now?
You know that old Madison Square Garden place?
Yes, where they've done an actual play show with...
Yes.
Who was it? Was it Critical Role that did that last time?
No, this is Dimension 20 that's doing this.
No, I know this bit of news is Dimension 20, but I
Critical
meant
Role did one
previously.
in Wembley Arena.
Oh, it was Wembley, okay.
Yeah. So Madison Square Garden is in New York. It's a big multi-purpose arena, but they have lots of boxing matches there, and they have all sorts of stuff there. There are lots and lots of different things happen there.
Yeah.
Big famous place, and Dimension 20 is a big famous
Yeah, Brendan Lee
Actual
Mulligan,
play.
actual play live
plays.
stream. Yeah.
They do like lots of stuff. Yeah, so yeah.
So they are holding an event called Gauntlet at the Garden.
Yep.
It's nearly a year away. It's January 24th, 2025.
Yeah.
One night only. Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean,
Tickets are on sale now.
That is happening. Tickets are on sale. Apparently, there's some weird Ticketmaster stuff going on with price surging, and tickets are now like $2,000 or something. I've seen people say. I haven't verified myself.
The screenshots I've seen have been ranging from $700. I'm like, is that Jamaican? No, that's US. Okay, that is definitely not a thing that's going to happen. To 1,100 plus.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean,
It's like they're Taylor Swift or something. What's going on?
Yeah, it's this weird price
very
surging thing that
yeah.
Ticketmaster does. It's I don't know how it works exactly.
It's like no, basically.
Plus the plane flight as well.
Oh yeah, sure.
Even if I lived in
no,
New York, I'd be like, oh, is that...
Yeah.
I could go on holiday
Yeah.
for that amount of money. That's
you
like...
could have a decent mini break somewhere, 7 days somewhere if you had the holiday.
Think of all the RPG books you could buy with that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I could buy a new sofa with that.
Wait,
Oh,
is
do
your
you
dog
need another
eating?
one? That's same joke, same time.
Yeah. So this thing, right, Gauntlet at the Garden. It's going to have 6 of the series regular cast. Tickets are on sale. Emily Axford, Ali Beardsley, Brian Murphy, Zach Oyama, Siobhan Thompson, and Lou Wilson, and the GM is Brendan Lee Mulligan. That is going to happen.
Nice.
So yeah, Wembley Arena, Madison Square Garden. Like these things are filling out arenas.
Yeah. I mean,
Not just theatres, arenas.
I've had these extremely highly recommended as being a notch above other actual plays, which is pretty impressive. And I think Brendan Lee Mulligan also has another one, Worlds Without Number, which is like one of the Crawford RPGs. Like he's done Stars Without Number, Worlds Without Number. I think it's on Cities Without Number now, which is pretty interesting. So I mean, I could be tempted. It's just having to find.
I wonder if there'll be a video version of it afterwards. Though.
A screening. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably. They have on their website. You kind of pay for a subscription to access things. So I'd be surprised if they didn't have it there.
So you might be
some
able to
subscribers.
access it that way.
It's not the same as being there though. If you enjoy that sort of thing and you want to be part of it, like
I think my problem with something like that is actual plays tend to be like 4+ hours long, and I don't think I could sit in a cinema-like or, theatre-like kind of thing for that long.
I imagine they'll probably throw in a half time, but
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
when is the 25th of January or 24th of January, whenever it was?
What do you mean, when is it?
Well, like,
It's
if
on the
it's a
25th of
Saturday-
January.
What day of the week, PJ? They
Thanks,
weren't
Russ.
like, when does that occur?
That's super helpful. Yeah, cheers, right?
I'd have to look on a calendar. I don't know.
Unfortunately, I have one in front of me, so
That's good.
yeah, it's a Friday, so yeah,
It's Friday
tricky.
night.
Yeah, I mean,
Time to get wild and crazy. Play
Yeah,
some
I'm just thinking,
RPGs.
'cause- well, it's also going to be quite hard for the staff, the performance, sorry, to do stuff. So I assume there's going to be some sort of interval, but yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
not my
I mean,
problem.
they do so many different things there. I mean, they're probably
really
used to putting on big, long
Yeah,
things. But I don't know.
I always
Anyhow,
half expect it to be Madison Cube Gardens, but I blame Futurama for that.
there we go.
I do not get that reference.
Well,
No,
I'm
sorry,
guessing
an
it's from
animated show.
Futurama.
I'm guessing it's from Futurama. I've seen like the occasional episode of Futurama, but that's it.
Or at least you
I was
listen to it like
never
a
an
radio
avid
play.
follower.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
I have some news as well.
yeah. Is it? Oh yeah.
Have either
Prove
of
it.
you...
Prove it. Prove it.
I will.
Prove that you have some news. Prove
I
it
will.
now.
I always
Prove
don't
it. Go
want
on.
to now because
Provide the proof.
I don't want
that
to
you
now
have
because of
news.
demand avoidance, but I will.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at a miniature and been like...
No, I was going to do that one. Oh my god.
Yoink.
I was
Says
literally
yes.
about to do it.
I was like, have you ever looked at a
minute?
miniature and been like, I want to eat it? Have you ever had that intrusive thought?
I'm sad now.
Well, now you
Stolen-
can, because
stolen my
Gummy
news
Quest. The Kickstarter. There's a fun
Oh.
Kickstarter I saw, Gummy Quest, which Russ has seen as well. So pretty much you can buy a load of miniatures that you can use to make like gummy sweets and get a load of them. So they've got 150 miniatures in the box, like different flavours. They're also selling tiers where it has the moulds to them so you can make your own. And it's just a bit of fun.
Nice.
That's all, I don't really have much more to say about it than that. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Russ.
What-
It's
what's
raised
your-
over
what's your-
350k on Kickstarter, so clearly other people enjoy it.
I mean, that was on Tuesday when I wrote that article. I bet it's way higher. Let me check what it is now. It is now... Oh, load, please.
That was in US dollars, I quoted.
Oh, no, it hasn't gone up a massive amount since then. It's still like 372.
$372,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So,
yeah,
just
so-
fantasy gummies.
I
Yeah.
mean, Russ, what would be your preferred mould that you would get?
Well, I'm looking at them. So it's a box of 150 miniatures, and they come in 25 different flavours.
Okay, yeah,
And each box, you get 76 monsters.
nice.
You get 15 heroes.
Okay,
This is the bit I like. 25 potions.
Oh, yeah, the potions.
I really like that.
So the
You drink
idea is
healing
you eat
potion,
your
and then you have to
potion.
eat the gummy.
yes.
I like that idea. So the healing potions you get physical healing potions, and you eat them, and I love that.
Oh.
And 35 dice. So yeah, okay. That's what's in each one. And then you've got paladins and wizards. There's purple worms. There's dragons. I'm not sure about the dragons. I think that it might be a bit big to sort of like eat after you kill it. Maybe
Yeah,
you
it
divide
would be an
up.
effort.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's,
think
Maybe
it-
divide it up between the party.
Yeah. I mean, you should split it up. Like, no one's soloing the dragon.
Yeah,
Oh.
but they got orcs, goblins, kobolds, bear owls, trolls,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. All sorts of things.
but yeah, they smashed all their stretch goals because their stretch goals were for 100k. So I think this has gone really well. Like, I think they must be really pleased with this. But it looks really good. Also, they are planning to fulfill in October of this year. So I was thinking that might be a nice gift for
Do you know, I
GM
am
or something like that for
tempted.
Christmas.
How much is it?
It depends which tier. So the tiers, they start at like $40, I think. The creator kit, which is the one that I was interested in, because you get the molds so you can kind of make some
Make your
more, is $165, because that's molds for all of the different types of things. You get mixes for gummies and instructions for
Yeah.
creating your own and new
Nice.
flavours. So
$40 is a lot for a box of sweets, isn't it?
But $165 to make
it is a lot of
Yeah.
sweets.
There's a lot of sweets, to be fair. Yeah,
It is a
yeah.
lot.
It's a
Yeah, the
non-trivial
molds-
amount of sweets.
Yeah.
So,
The molds are
so if
designed
you
for
can consume gelatin, this is a good day for you.
Yeah, I don't
Well-
think I could eat that much of it. Maybe one or two. I think after that, I'd be like, yeah.
With the molds, I imagine you could make your own vegan versions and stuff, because you get vegan gelatins, don't you? Like, I don't know if they're not great. I don't know.
I-
You could use the molds probably to do other stuff. You could make ice ones.
I
and
made
stuff
some
like that, couldn't
vegan
you? All
jelly
sorts of
once.
things.
So I
ice
had-
cubes.
I made some vegan jelly
Chocolate
once,
ones.
and it was fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
Yeah,
an
yeah.
intricate shape, it was just in a bowl. to eat, so I don't know how it would hold up.
But it was gelatin like it was gelatin like because it was like a jelly, not gummy like. Hence the face I'm pulling, because like it would just go. You put it on the table, it would go floop, and then spread out. I imagine. I do.
That's true. I don't know actually, but anyway, that exists, and they have a limited number of each ones actually. So I assume that's why they're being able to, fulfill it like in October, which is quite quick for a Kickstarter.
Well, I've got no idea how fast sweets get made. I don't know. It's not a
so clearly they clearly have a strategy because they put limits on each amount. So they're like, this is how much we can do, and good for them.
Good. That's actually really sensible. Good job. I guess that does cap how much money they could possibly make.
But they're currently
over $250 million. What you gonna do?
It looks like the cap is quite high, to be honest. So it yes.
I mean, I don't think they're the hardest things in the world to make. So
I don't know. It's not what I do. But,
weirdly, I'd probably advocate going for the higher levels because then you can like have a bit of reproducibility. I'm not sure I could handle that level of sugar.
That's a lot.
It is.
Especially just one of those dragons would be
yeah.
Let alone
Oh goodness, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll now have a moment of silent contemplation where Russ and Jessica have a war of good sense.
I'm just looking to see if they are vegan or not, because this looks like the kind of thing that would. I mean, I don't know.
It would be amazing, but I don't think it's a technical possibility right now. Certainly, if you know a way to make a vegan gummy, I'm interested to hear.
Okay.
But the only things I've seen are like stuff like Marks and Spencer's sweets, like Percy Pigs. You can get those in vegan versions, which rely on a foamed pseudo marshmallow, which is also quite tough. Anyway, sorry, we're not here to talk about the intricacies of vegan sweets.
How to make sweets, yeah.
But it was relevant, apparently. But yes, that was the other bit of news I wanted to share with you all.
Amazing.
Yeah. Hey, so I put online a preview of something this week. A preview of the Void Runners Codex.
Ooh.
In fact, what I said was the first chapter.
Nice.
The introduction chapter.
Yeah.
And you can go online, you can go on to Level Up 5e and see it, or you can see it on EN World, and you can read basically the first sort of like, it's not a big chapter to be fair. Yeah. It's like the first sort of 6 or so pages, where it just like introduces the game and just kind of sets it out and tells you what it is and what to expect, and talks about sort of tone and genre and things like that, and tells you what's in it.
So the anticipated release.
Yeah. Well, we got that sort of scheduled for like this summer, so we're going to be promoting it quite a bit over the next few weeks and months. So that is the thing. You can go and read the first chapter of the Void Runners Codex.
I look forward to doing a bit of a dive into it.
Yeah, and that is, just for those who don't know, is a sci-fi rulebook for Level Up Advanced 5th edition.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the Void Runners Codex. You've also got like one about starships as well.
Yeah, the Star Captain's Manual, and there's an adventure called Escape from Death Planet. So it's a 3-book set.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna look gorgeous. It's gonna be a really pretty. We haven't totally nailed down the presentation yet. We're sort of like looking at different options, but it's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. It's gonna be quite a pretty set.
I'm speaking to manufacturers about slip cases and fun
and
things
boxes and
we can
things
do.
like that.
And yes.
Yeah, I mean, Ian World books, I'm well on record as saying they are often very good. And I think, really, if anything, the quality has only improved.
Thank you.
Was that since I joined, were you saying, PJ?
I'm afraid I can't lay this one at your feet, Jessica, unless you had to say hiring the art director. I think, that sort of division of labour has really led to, just people being able to focus and just do it right. And it really shows. Gorgeous books in their own right. I've often raved about their coffee table qualities.
Well, thank you, sir. But so that's up on Level Up 5e to check out. We do have some little 5e quick starters happening between now and then, though.
Yeah, well, we always have those going on in between things.
So that's what's going on.
We got one of those launching next week, in fact.
Oh, the library one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's stuff to populate your library.
I'm excited about this.
So there's loads of mundane books, and then there's spell books, and then there's monsters and things that you would find in a library, and there's a library themed adventure. So it's something you can pop into your existing campaign if there's a library in the city or place that you're in. So it's good fun stuff.
I mean, certainly if you had any sort of scholastic themed game going on than or any sort of university theme sort of stuff, shenanigans planned, then this sounds like it would be an invaluable resource.
Exactly. It's just fun stuff to kind of drop in, which I like our quick starters that do things like that, because I think loads of people have their big homebrew worlds and stuff going on, but sometimes it's nice to just, drop in something fun and shiny.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like a little bit of a setting, micro setting and so forth, have some good times, yeah.
You mentioned Traveller earlier.
We did.
So that is currently produced by Mongoose Publishing. And they are releasing a book called This is Free Trader Beowulf, A System History of Traveller.
Oh, okay.
And that's coming out actually today.
Oh, nice.
That's releasing today. Well, today as we're recording, yesterday when you hear this.
Oh.
So this is like starting from the early days of Game Designers Workshop in the 1970s. It basically covers the entire history of the Traveller game, all of its books and its eras, all the different publishers that made versions, because it's, it's been passed about a bit, that made versions of it and stuff. And it looks interesting. It looks interesting. I mean, I like Wizard of the Coast put out a lot of they've got their sort of D&D one coming out later this year, and it's just like this history of the role playing game industry. It's just I don't know. It's just really fascinating to me because it's like the way these companies developed from like little things in people's garages or whatever, or on kitchen tables and stuff, into big proper, world famous properties. It's just. Really, and you look at the early stuff and like the production qualities of that sort of stuff and how it's developed over sort of 40 years.
I mean, there's definite parallels to the personal computing industry as well. So, interesting times.
Yeah. So, you can pick that up from Mongoose Publishing. You can order it today now.
Nice. What's it called
I
again?
am intrigued.
It is called This is Free Trader Beowulf.
Right.
A System History of Traveller this Friday.
Nice.
This is Free Trader Beowulf being the famous Mayday thing that they put on the back of all their books.
Okay.
So, the Free Trader Beowulf, basically the sort of catch line for the game is Free Trader Beowulf putting out a Mayday call for assistance.
Oh man, they just have no look, right?
Yeah, I know. Every edition, they're still, we're stuck again now.
Is no one answering them? Is this the issue? I'm like, guys, seriously.
We've been making this call for 40 years now, no one's answered.
There comes a time where you have to ask yourself, is it me? Am I the problem?
We're subsisting now only on our D&D gummy bears. I mean, that's all we've got left.
Thank goodness we pledged and went for the pledge where we can make our own.
Oh, just don't make them sugar-free, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have an option for sugar-free ones.
I'm just gonna...
Shake your head.
We've all seen the Amazon review of the giant sugar-free gummy bear.
Do not. Unless you're ready, that sounds like a good time. Which case,
it has specific medicinal properties. Anyway,
moving swiftly on.
Do we have any other tabletop RPG news?
A little bit on the Daggerheart RPG.
Oh yeah, more.
So they did their playtest recently.
Yes.
They've iterated it already quite quickly based on playtest feedback.
Yeah.
So it's now on version 1.3. There was an update this week.
Yeah.
And there's some quite a big transformation apparently in this. Like some of the core mechanics have been reworked.
Wow.
And it's kind of moving. I feel like it's moving a little more. I feel like originally they came out and said this is going to be a bit different to D&D.
Yes.
And I feel like with these iterations, it's moving slightly back towards D&D.
Okay.
Like one of their advantage mechanics has basically been changed into roll 2 dice and take the highest, like D&D and things like that. So it's kind of...
I mean, 5th edition didn't come up with that. That's been kicking around for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, like the more the D&D philosophy sort of thing in feel. I mean, I've never actually played it. I can't tell you how it feels.
This disappoints me though, because I feel like this is an opportunity to do something different, and my fear is just lots of people will have picked up the playtest document and be like, "Oh, this isn't D&D. I don't like it. Make it more like D&D."
That's my fear.
And then maybe that's a huge oversimplification of it. I'm aware. So anyone listening to it, Yeah, I just think this is a chance to be a mainstream system that has a lot of new people to the RPG hobby to try new games, and I think it would be good if it was a new game. Like,
Yeah. I mean, certainly some of the things I've seen, it definitely has needed some work. One of the things I saw was there was somebody did a play test, and there's like some condition or other, which means that when players roll this and so, you have to escalate the threat.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened repeatedly through a single playtest session. And like the guy was running out of ways to escalate because it was just like, there's only so many ways you can escalate. You need guidance, I feel.
There's a top of an escalator.
I mean, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's fair. I mean, at some point, it just becomes logically absurd because players roll a certain number of things and then next thing you know, a lich monster from beyond is ripping apart the sky, and you can see swirling masses of chaos as it reaches down to attack you. And it's like, there's only meant to be a starting encounter with a couple of goblins in the camp.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's
It
that's
sounds like
basically
a
what's going
cool
on with
scene,
that.
though, PJ. Like,
Oh, yeah. But it'd be a short game.
yeah, but like, have fun.
Yeah. And they've got like lots of what's a nice way to say detritus? Like lots of little cards and so forth. So
Props.
Sorry, gubbins. Yes,
Gubbins. Okay,
Stuff.
Gubbins.
yeah,
Works. Okay,
lots of gubbins. Material, and some of that can be quite useful. Like definitely not opposed to these ideas. So yeah. It just feels like it seems like there's a lot of them that you need to print off and play with. So yeah. But try new things. I say try new things. And if it helps us learn from the lessons of board games, which have been immensely successful in helping people learn complex rule sets, then why not?
I think we're kind of at the end of the news now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm done with the news.
I think we're done with the news.
I do have one last item.
Oh, perfect.
I put it into the show notes. This one is called Night of the Grave. It is I kid you not, a level 17 adventure.
From Darren Drader.
Yes, the Grave Knight Leonidas Uvir has returned from a 100-year absence, now seeks to recreate his empire through conquest and subjection of all former lands. There's now an undead army on the loose, laying siege to the place where he intends to create a bastion and retake the empire. So the PCs have to defeat him in battle and turn the tide. But, you know, a Grave Knight is only destroyed when its armour is unmade. So they must go on a long, epic quest to beat him a second time and put an end to the matter. Yeah, fair enough. It's like, you know, a level 17 adventure, which I think is actually fairly notable, in honesty. But the reason that I would like to highlight it as well is because it's to help Owen Casey Stevens. And half of the earnings for the product will go straight to Owen to aid in his financial battle. So I thought that was definitely worthwhile shouting out.
Which, for those who don't know, Owen is fighting cancer right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this will help, and best of luck to Owen.
That's a good bit of news there.
Okay, that's it for this week. That's all the news. We've done all the news. So it's time to get out of here and have our weekend. So goodbye, everybody, and thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Yes, thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Apparently I now have to read this to you. This is the official podcast of Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG news, which you can find at enworld.org. You can find show notes at morrus.podbean.com or wherever you found the podcast. If you feel like they deserve it, you can support the show on Patreon. In return, you will receive exclusive bonus content. Just go to patreon.com/Morrus. If you're interested in his babbling nonsense, you can follow @Morrus on the Twitter. Send your emails to morruspodcast@gmail.com. Not all of your emails, just the ones you want us to see. That's it. I'm bored now. You can go away. Shoo, off you go. Goodbye. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So one of Jim Ward's earliest creations, when he worked for TSR,
Bless you.
Was a sneeze.
I don't know if it was a sneeze. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't sneeze whilst he was at TSR, but...
Oh, well, that was about. Where was I?
It's spring has sprung and pollen is about.
Get off. Get off. Okay, so
Just to be clear for the listeners, that was a dog and not myself or PJ. We just got excited by the news. Like, what's going on?